It's not every day that you get a game sent to your Steam Curator of about 0 friended to the nearest 50 followers, but it happened again. An indie dev new to Steam sent me a key for a, and I quote, bullet hell Souls-like RPG called The Abyss. I have nothing but the utmost respect for them for doing that, and I hope that they understand that I harbor no ill will in any way when I say the following statement. The Abyss is a terrible game built off deceiving players, and it uses fake difficulty to feed off the resulting suffering, and I gave up after 30 minutes. The game's pretty simple. It's a platformer where you do a short gauntlet before facing off a boss, shooting at them with your mouse while you avoid their attacks. It's a solid concept, but here's exactly why everything doesn't work. For starters, it's very hard to see anything. The bullets that appear don't just come out of nowhere, but from eyes in the wall, except good luck figuring that out. I know what to look for, and I can barely tell where the enemies are in editing. I would never be able to see them in the game. Look, a black character on a black background with black ground and dark gray enemies makes it impossible to tell what's going on without straining your eyes. Next problem, you have one-hit kills. Okay, one-hit kills in a game where you're supposed to dodge attacks and spend a fair bit of time whittling down a boss's health. You know what, I've played Contra, I get this part. You can totally have bullets at one-hit kill. The problem is if you die, you restart the entire level over from scratch, requiring a perfect run every time. And you know what, that's still not a problem. The problem is threefold. First off, your hitbox is massive. Second, the bullets are very fast, which combined makes things an unfair challenge. But the third part is where this whole game breaks down. The controls are permanently on ice. The level design isn't great in the first place, and the fact that the bullets shoot at where you are makes it frustratingly difficult already, but what if you add in poor controls to the mix? There's no such thing as a static velocity here, you always have deceleration, and that's fine, right? Well, the problem is, it takes so long to stop that you can just fly into the way of danger. Alright, whatever, but what about the bosses? Let's say that you go through the gauntlet, you manage to dodge everything, you slide around the level. Okay, here's my first attempt at the second boss in the game. Can you tell me what I did wrong here? The boss fired a projectile before the screen even stopped shaking, and I have less than 300 milliseconds to respond and get out of the way before I die. Excuse me, what? Souls-like bosses don't appear and kill you faster than you can physically react if you have never seen them before. There's no telegraphy at all here. There's no animations to tell you when they're shooting, no animations to tell you what kind of attack it's gonna be. You just have to figure out what kills you and what doesn't by trial and error. And the bullets still go towards where you currently are. If you're running towards the boss, they're more dangerous because, they're closer, less time to react. But if you run away from the boss, well, the problem is you risk dying from the environment. Well, depending on the gauntlet, but still. The only boss that I thought was fair was the fourth one, which is a giant wolf that jumps in and kills you instantly. Oh, did I mention that? Actually, I was wrong. There are checkpoints in this game. You just have to manually find and hit them. So, just in case you thought the game was too easy, you can go through a nightmarish gauntlet only to miss a checkpoint and be instantly deleted, and then you have to go and do that all over again. So, yeah, okay. Whatever, the wolf's the only one that's fair. Not because he's particularly well telegraphed, but because he doesn't jump unexpectedly, he doesn't change speeds unpredictably, his visuals are nice and clear, all he does is he moves, stops, maybe shoots a bullet, and then starts moving again. But the rest of these bosses? God awful. This is a game where you can't see, you can't dodge, and you can't survive. As a bullet hell, this game doesn't work because the bullets don't shoot in a clear pattern, they shoot at you, and sometimes they can throw you into a situation that might be winnable if it wasn't for the hitbox and you sliding all over the place. As a Souls-like, it doesn't work because there's no way to predict what's gonna happen consistently, you just have to get lucky. As an RPG, well, sorry guys, that's where it lied to you. The only skill you have is issue. There is no power-ups, there is no way to be invulnerable, there's no health. You can only get better, and I'm saying better with air quotes here, because when you're fighting a random die, you're not going to predict that it'll land on a 4. Well, you can predict that it'll land on a 4, but not more than 1 in 6 times. So here's my message to the developer. Usually for games as bad, I'm ripping into them, I'm saying they're horrible, but I can tell that you tried to make something good here. You didn't just slap this together from an asset pack and said, here you go, give me $1. No, you may have done everything wrong here, but that's part of the process of learning. This is just something that happens as you make games. Like, everyone's earliest games are a Nobel Prize candidate in the field of poo-poo pee-pee. And this is why I stopped finishing the games that I work on. They're dog shit, but nobody else other than me has to see them. This is also why I don't like calling myself a creative or referencing that experience, because at least, hey, you know what? There's a difference between you and me. You finished your game. That's something I didn't do for years now. That's what you get as your award. You did it. You were probably feeling pride over finishing the project, excitement that there's a video on your game, and as you kept watching, it was replaced by a ton of fear, a ton of regret. Well, fuck that. No, you know what? You finished a game that you put your heart and soul into. That's why you should be proud of it. Yeah, it sucks. So what? You'll do better next time. Here's the thing that I can't recall ever saying about a video game. The concepts that I see here are all there for a good game, but it was just executed so poorly that I consider it all fake difficulty. And as you're going to make more and more games, you're going to notice what you're doing right, what you're doing wrong, and then you can tell how to make it challenging, but in a way that's not going to upset the player. Yeah, okay, you didn't make Super Meat Boy the first time around, but to be fair, neither did they. So take that as your lesson. Just keep going. You've got something here. Oh, and before I forget, I should probably mention what the music's like. Stylistically, it's all over the place, varying from someone dicking around on the guitar to MIDI overdrive and drums, but there is a really nice old-timey piano theme named Drought, which I think is the theme to the game. It nails the game's vibe. It basically holds the game together. Okay, here's what it sounds like.